Welcome everyone to Healing Wednesday, the Circle of 12. I'm Lee Carroll.
And I'm Monica Morani.
Happy June 7. Did you know that once a month we offer this program for free? I think a lot of you do because that's why you're watching. And our Healing Wednesday subscribers receive this 90-minute program every single Wednesday of the year. We have special guests, questions and answers, discussions, sometimes weird stuff. Are you ready for weird stuff?
Yes, we love the weird stuff.
Meditations and, of course, channeling from Kryon. This is a one-time message from me to so many of you watching this. Normally, I don't talk about myself, but let me tonight. I want to give some really, really profound thanks. This message is reaching our entire YouTube subscription base, plus our Healing Wednesday members and all of those who were watching perhaps even for the first time for free. On April 4, I know it's a live program, so I'm getting my months mixed up. April 4, 2 months ago, I underwent open heart surgery. That's when I lost my mind at the same time and can't say words. It was scheduled. Sorry, Warren. It was scheduled. I want you to stay on this shot for a moment because this is a sash here I wanted you to see. It wasn't a surprise, so we told everybody in advance this was going to happen. Now, if you are a subscriber to this weekly program, you may have seen this recovery sash, this very one, in this chair, where the chair was empty. I was not in it, and the only thing you saw was the recovery sash. So that happened for 3 weeks.
Yes, and it was just during the interview section.
Right.
So we still had the channels and the Circle of 12 experiences.
So that was very confusing to some who were watching the program and seeing me come and go. And the empty chair at other places. I am now back, and the sash goes away. Is that okay if I take the sash away?
Yes.
I will. All right, in a minute I'll do this. But
Because this really is the first program where your doctors and everyone is saying you can go back to work and do everything as you normally did before the surgery.
And that's before I lost my mind and can't read. I am recovered and very pleased to be here.
Yes.
But the outpouring of love and the healing energy, absolutely amazing. I'll never forget it, folks, honestly. So this is my thanks to so many of you who knew the situation. It's a huge thanks from me for your caring, your help, and the energy on that specific day, especially April 4. The operation went exceptionally well, they tell me. I wasn't there. I was in La La Land. And I now have a fully functional heart, and I am in full recovery at this time. Again, and again, and again, I cannot thank you enough. There really are no words for your gifts of love at this very special time in my life. I'm back in full swing. I'm back in the chair. I'm ready for more teaching and channeling. And I just wanted to let you know how successful prayer is. Wow.
Well, as someone who watched Lee go through his surgery, I witnessed so many miracle moments along the way. And yes, I do admit there were moments where I was nervous, I was apprehensive, but thankfully those moments are fleeting and they're behind us now. I lost count of how many times I said to Lee, "I love you," and how many times he said it back. It's a really good reminder that when you do love someone, your heart just overflows every time you express it. And it also overflows every time you hear someone saying those words back to you. Lee and I are both so aware that there's many who are watching this right now who are in need of love and support. Whether you have your own challenge or whether you're in the role of being a caretaker, supporting someone else, know that you too are constantly being loved and supported by one of the best friends you could ever have. It's the golden angel that lives inside, and it's called the higher self. So what I'd like to do now is begin with an affirmation that we will use all month that involves our higher self. You're invited to join us in saying the affirmation and claiming it as your own. You will see the words on the screen to make it easier for you to participate. So let's suspend time for just a moment. Relax your body, soften your breathing, focus on nice, slow breaths, moving in and out of your abdomen and your chest. Dear Spirit, thank you for my divine spark. I am ready to enhance my divinity. I acknowledge the golden angel inside that represents my higher self. Dear Spirit, give me intuition to receive benevolent guidance in my life. I am ready for an amplification of my light and for greater balance and wisdom in my daily life. Dear golden angel inside, I give permission and allowance to meld my consciousness with your divinity. Together, let us demonstrate compassionate action. Let us radiate joy, peace, balance, and oneness.
Dear Spirit, thank you for my divine spark. I'm ready to enhance my divinity. I acknowledge the golden angel inside that represents my higher self. Dear Spirit, give me intuition to receive benevolent guidance in my life. I'm ready for an amplification of my light and for greater balance and wisdom in my daily life. Dear golden angel inside, I give permission and allowance to meld my consciousness with your divinity. Together, let us demonstrate compassionate action. Let us radiate joy, peace, balance, and oneness.
Dear Spirit, thank you for my divine spark. I am ready to enhance my divinity. I acknowledge the golden angel inside that represents my higher self. Dear Spirit, give me intuition to receive benevolent guidance in my life. I am ready for an amplification of my light and for greater balance and wisdom in my daily life. Dear golden angel inside, I give permission and allowance to meld my consciousness with your divinity. Together, let us demonstrate compassionate action. Let us radiate joy, peace, balance, and oneness.
Thank you, Monica. It's a great way to begin the evening, and these evenings we've been doing this with these affirmations, don't you think? Again, we're going to say this affirmation for the next 3 episodes of Healing Wednesday, and if you haven't caught on, we do each affirmation 3 times. Earlier, I mentioned my gratitude for all the prayers and support I received during my surgery and my recovery, and later in this program, Monica will ask you to join her in sending this kind of beautiful energy and prayers to those who are also requesting our help. For thousands of years, communities have come together to pray. But what does Kryon say about all this?
Well, that's exactly the question I was wondering when I wrote my 3rd Kryon book called The Human Soul Revealed. Why is prayer so powerful? Why is it that someone who has been told they will never be healed can walk away healed after a collective group prays for them? Again, I wanted to know what Kryon had to say on this subject, and so that's the exact question I asked. Here is the question specifically that I asked to Kryon. Dear Kryon, Many healers and light workers often meditate and pray when someone they know is physically unwell or unbalanced. Sometimes the recipient of this prayer and meditation is healed. There have been many incidents where a collective group prays for someone's healing and the person has been healed. Can you tell us more about this process? What attributes make this particular type of collective human consciousness so powerful?
This is a kind of a complex answer. I remember it when it was given, and she put it in the book from Kryon, and it's sometimes it's confusing. So here's what I want to tell you. All of you can watch this answer again, over and over, right here on the YouTube playlist. And for you members, you can see it in your portal in the replays. So here is how Kryon answered that question. Ready? The actual power rests in the physics of consciousness that we have talked about over and over. It shows more than anything how physics of benevolent thought works. Prayer with others is, quote, projected, manifested intent with a group, unquote. There's energy produced here, real energy. Someday you will even be able to measure that energy. When someone is upset, for instance, can you feel it? Can you sense it in the air? If you're close to that person, you often wish to remove yourself from that person if they're upset, since it's uncomfortable. It's the same when somebody perhaps is over the top happy. The energy is almost infectious. Laughter creates laughter. Consciousness has physical energy. So stand by for things that you might not understand just yet. In basic physics, everything happens in balanced pairs. Nothing is destroyed. In multidimensional physics, it's a bit more obtuse. There is a push-pull kind of a system where one energy pushes against a membrane, a potential of another. And it's either seen and used by the pushing or pulling reciprocal potential, or it's not. If it isn't used by the one, then it'll move to anything else that is willing to receive it. I know this is complicated, but it's never wasted. It's always balanced. If you really want to get technical, this is also how magnetism works. By spare electronics on one atom looking for a balanced home with other atoms who don't have enough. It's everywhere in physics, this balanced pair idea. When many humans together are giving pure intent, the energy is multiplied by factors that are not the ones you compute in 3D. The consciousness of physics has its own rules, and you'll discover what they are. But depending upon the energy of the group praying, it's not very, it's a very, very powerful push to the receiver. You may not think it is, but it is. The energy of the group praying is an extremely powerful push to the receiver. Now, consciousness is also filled with variables. And some of them use words like truth, belief, perception, willingness. All of these concepts temper the physics we're discussing, the push and the pull, and the membrane of potential fulfillment that we just talked about. Listen, dear ones, all this talk of physics simply comes to one point. The one who is the target for the healing must match the pattern of the senders. We'll call that compliance of energy. Some get healed, some don't. Some have miracles, some have nothing. Do you ever wonder about that? Do you see how this might make sense now? The pushing and the pulling and the reception and the physics of it? It really is basic round pegs and round holes thinking. And it explains why prayer often seems to fail. And sometimes it works spectacularly. But the energy of it is never wasted. If the recipient cannot receive the energy of the benevolence being created, for whatever myriad of reasons that might be there, or filters that get in the way, the energy does not dissipate into the ethers. Instead, it gets amplified back to the senders. You knew that, didn't you? In a balanced way. Did you ever attend a gathering of meditators or those who are praying for others, and you felt so much better when you left? Now you know. This is what's going on.
What a beautiful explanation from Kryon about how and why the power of human consciousness coming together with focused intent is so powerful. So let's use that information together with the affirmation we gave about our higher self for a brief meditation. I invite you to close your eyes and contemplate the golden angel that lives inside. This divine energy is constantly pushing love and benevolence to you, for your life. Do you give permission to receive this pulsating energy of love and benevolence towards you? As you contemplate that golden angel, which has no face, has no form, has no shape even, it is just light and energy, you may wish to have it shapeshift just for this moment, to give it more personality, personal to you. So imagine yourself in a glowing colour of vibrant pink purple. Your entire physical body is now pulsating in a violet, pink, purplish light. And now this pink, purplish aspect of yourself pulls away from you and steps in front of you and looks at you. And you can now give this shape, identity, a personality and a face that is your higher self. It is you, an aspect of you, and it is here to enhance your life. So now that we say, yes, I am ready to have my life enhanced, let us hear more from Kryon.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. So many questions about confusing things. Every single one who is listening or viewing me right now can also view or listen to the Circle of 12, which is coming a little later. So I want to make this particular channel a precursor to the Circle of 12, which you can also view and see. But there is so much more right now. You have just heard an answer from some years ago that I gave regarding a collective energy of prayer. It may be very, very complex, the answer, but let's put it this way. If you pray for someone to be healed, and what if that someone doesn't feel that they are worthy at all? In fact, what if that was what they learned from birth? They are not worthy. So they can have prayer, but God has to heal them in a certain way because they are unworthy. I will tell you right now that their filter of unworthiness will temper how much they get from the group he was praying. You knew that, didn't you? You had to know that. This balanced push and pull energy of benevolence and kindness and beauty of prayer to someone else, that someone else has to be on the receiving end. They have to be ready to catch the ball. And that ball is kindness and compassion and healing. But if they're not ready to catch it, and they're saying, I am not worthy, I have a filter that says, this probably won't work. Didn't work for somebody else, it's not going to work for me. It probably won't work. Have you ever had this explained to you in this way? For those of you who might be in trouble right now, and you need that which is the energy from the others, I ask you, are you ready to catch that ball? Or do you deny it? And you might say, no, I'm ready, I need it. I didn't ask if you needed it. I ask if you were ready to catch the ball. Tonight's channeling will be one of 4 and will be the prologue, you might say, for the Circle of 12 to come in just a few minutes, that all of you can watch and continue to watch. And this particular channeling and the 3 others that will follow this month, I am titling Conversations with an Angel. And even before we get to that angel that you may converse with, I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think about an angel? You can tell where this is going. There's going to be 4 messages given. But what if you're not ready to receive them? Here we go again. What is your idea of an angel? It's so interesting, is it not, that those who would listen to this and see it as a channeling and then close the door because they don't believe in channeling will still believe in angels. It's almost worldwide. Almost every organized doctrine has space in it for stories about angels. And so you ask yourself, what are they? They seem to have occurred in the sky before masters are born. They give messages. They appear to certain humans a certain way. They give very long messages. Sometimes they give an entire doctrine. It comes from an angel. Who is that angel? That particular answer might be debated over and over. Is it a master? Is it God? Is it a representation of God? Who is the angel? But no one questions the authority when they show up and give a message. What's the first thing the angels say? Fear not. Why would you fear this beautiful entity that would come down, often looking like a woman? They're not always women. It depends upon, if you've noticed, the hierarchy. By the way, if you want to take a look at the hierarchy of angeldom, that is a mirror of the hierarchy you have assigned to yourselves. You do understand that, do you not? You often mirror your own hierarchy, your own beliefs, your own who's in charge and why, and then you put it on divinity. I'll tell you about angels. They're beautiful, beautiful, multidimensional entities, if you wish to say that, with sentience, that always represent the most divine of the divine, the creative source. And when they show up, quite often it's spectacular. And that is why there's fear. You don't see a woman with a halo in a beautiful outfit. You see multidimensionality at its grandest, where things swirl around and there are lights and you don't understand it. And sometimes you feel the multidimensionality of it, which doesn't really meld with 3-dimension. And you feel it in the air. And you're afraid. And this is why the messages have always been the same. If they were translated correctly, when an angel appears anywhere for any reason to any human being, they always say, don't fear me. Because part of me is part of you, and here's the message that I have. Sometimes the scripture will say that an angel will appear and the humans fell upon their faces. They didn't kneel, they fell upon their faces. Because there was so much energy there that was divine that they straddled themselves on the ground and were afraid. I give you this because the angels you will meet are going to be like that. But they won't frighten you. They'll come at you in a way that is so beautiful and kind and benevolent. And the first one you will meet tonight in the circle of 12, the message will be, who are you? You don't even have a question. You're not allowed a question. Because these 4 angels are going to give you information about you that you need to hear. In ways perhaps you think you've heard before, but not in the energy that is going to be given this night. I'll give you a hint. This first angel in the circle of 12 will come to you. You're not going to go to it. And this will be common. It's a paradigm that exists and has always existed in almost every single doctrine. You don't call for the angels. They come to you. And they come to you many times when least expected. This one you will expect. This one has a message for you. I want to tell you what the message is going to be. I'm not going to tell you how it's going to be delivered because I want you to stay tuned for that. It's beautiful. This message from this angel is going to help you catch the ball. Oh, listen to me. If you're in trouble, you need to hear this one. If you need a healing and you're expecting it to come from groups and people, how do you feel about yourself? Do you deserve it? That's the big one. That's the first one. Do you deserve the healing? Or have you been told by someone, somewhere, that you were born dirty, you don't deserve anything from God or from any person? How are you going to catch the ball of divinity when you don't even see it coming? How are you going to catch the ball of divinity when you don't want to know what it looks like? How are you going to catch anything when you don't even know when it's thrown or don't deserve to catch it? Those are the questions, are they not? This is the angel that's going to describe you. And you may think you've heard it before, how God sees you, how you see you, how the rest of the multidimensional world sees you that you have no idea of, how your soul sees you. I want you to stay tuned, because in just a little while, I'm going to ask you to come a little closer, and together we will cross the bridge and meet the first angel who's going to tell you how to catch the ball. I am Kryon. This is a new energy dear ones. This is a new energy. And you're all part of it. Can't you feel it? Can't you feel it? And so it is.
And following that beautiful message from Kryon, I invite you to bring that energy back with you as you bring your awareness into your body. Relax into the arms of the loving energy that we've just received. Have it hug you for the rest of the evening. And in this beautiful hugging pose and posture, I want to tell you about this amazing guest that we have joining us this evening from Europe. His name is Andreas Goldemann, or as the Western people like to say, Goldman. And I want to make sure Andreas is on the Zoom feed with us. Andreas, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Monica and Lee. Yes, definitely. Looking forward to be with you tonight.
Well, we are so excited that you're taking time out of your very busy schedule to join us this evening, and we want to tell everyone about you.
I want to tell you about Andreas Goldman. He's an intuitive sound healer and spiritual guide. I love the sound healer part, folks. His unique gift of triggering profound changes in others through sound movement and reflection without actually physically being present with them. So through this form of intuitive work, Andreas enables you to free yourself from negative emotions, conditionings, and beliefs, of course, we love that part, that weighed you down in mind and spirit.
Imagine hearing a sound, a certain tone, that touches you deep inside and reminds you of who you really are. Suddenly, easily, you find your way out of a stressful situation. You build up a deeper trust in yourself and in life. In this way, you begin to experience your great potential, your strengths and talents. Your whole being is filled with love when you finally return to yourself.
In truth, it's very difficult to describe what Andreas intuitively does and then what he can do for the work after, because it's intuitive. But after 15 years of touring all around the planet and transforming the lives of hundreds of thousands of people through his online courses, you can now carry Andreas' unique intuitive gift with you always on your device, on your computer, your smartphone, your tablet. Modern technology gives you the benefits of Andreas Goldman's life-changing intuitive work right when you need it, anytime, anywhere. Andreas, welcome to the show.
Hello, Lee. Thank you for having me tonight.
You're very welcome. I want to turn it over to you, and I want you to tell us, first of all, how did this happen, and what have you discovered that this is so unique?
The whole thing started when I was a little boy. When I was 3 years old, I started to sing in the way that I sing today, in this old Celtic Druid voices. And when I was, for example, in my playroom or my children's room or under the shower, I started to sing like this. Not with the voice I have today, of course, with a child's voice, but it happened. And what was very interesting for me was that I always was able to see energy as a child. And when I played around with my voice and some quarrels have been in the family, or there was some misunderstanding in the family, suddenly the parents became quiet, calm, relaxed, and everything distressed, which I did not understand at the very moment as a child. And so the whole thing happened from the age of 3 until 10, 11. Then the parents divorced. My stress level was too high. And I rediscovered what I did as a child in the age of 28 when I studied out of body and lucid dreaming. So I did come back into this theta awareness where you can see energy again and where you can, feel intuitively on a larger scale. And I rediscovered the voice because I forgot about it totally. So The whole thing was gone for many years. And because of my work that I did already with matrix work, with resetting, when I reset cell structures after accidents or surgery and things that were happening, I was very specialized on the muscle skeletal system to help people heal their bones and their structures, especially phantom pain after amputation. So with all this work doing, I suddenly came back into my voice.
What do you think is the magic that happens when we really kind of immerse ourselves into that sound experience? Because Lee and I, we are both absolute fans of sound healing. And Lee, as his past life as doing the audio engineering, absolutely vibration, frequencies in the air.
I mean, I know that sound is a whole lot more than sound, and I know you.
Yeah,
I know that's what you're saying.
What do you think is that kind of magic quality that happens for us when we release into the sound?
It actually goes around the brain. The thing is, your intellect cannot grab onto it. And because of this, you suddenly find yourself in a more dreamy state than you yourself. You go also with me into a theta state. I have a so-called theta voice, where I help people come back into a deeper awareness of their subconscious. And I represent through embodying, through my voice and the movements that I do when I do a session, I'm representing and embodying the solution we are looking for if people have problems. And with me being in this state and with the other one being in theta, aware and open for change, the change is happening automatically. Of course, you can say, oh, I don't want this. And you stay in a deeper or in a lower vibration or a higher frequency so that the vibration is not touching you. You can always do that. But what's the purpose then to do sound healing if you're not open to it,
Are you able to, this is a little kind of unscripted, but are you able to give us a little sample of that,
of course,
that theta here, that druid kind of sound?
Would be a pleasure.
It would be absolute delight for me.
But first, before we do this, we need to check into our body for a moment.
Yes.
We need to realize, how's our body doing right now? How do we feel in our vibration? How do our tissues feel? How is our breathing? If you turn your neck to the left and to the right, for example, or up and down, how is your neck? How is your jaw? How open are your eyes when you look into the space, into the room? And do you have a peripheral vision? Is it hard to look? Do you need effort to see? Or is it something that comes easily to you? And how is your emotion? How do you feel emotionally? Because sound healing goes mostly deep into the emotional layers. And if you have this, then you just let go of the thoughts and just follow me. Ijenat narasam dalam bol ebeiji bandal arsadarjendoid dei were quaral ishire tenesha diaratanast de rastan nukum bal Inai Ide Brown Sumore Tarachlae one eye. Then open your eyes again and you might realize you have a different vision. Also, turn your neck, your jaw. You need to go a little deeper. Turan. Ushtene, let go of control. Lekoi. Renatan. Shetieri. Orantanstanani. Amaeshe. San. Ayare. Again. Turn your neck. Now it's better. Ligg i dig framför dig. And feel the silence that comes into your mind. There is more ease and inner peace automatically coming into the space that is, filled with your thoughts. Thank you, Pare. Feel.
Deepest thanks. And immediately I felt
I want that
stillness, a deep stillness, tranquility, the silence. Something I find that I have to go out into nature and be in that soothing place that I get from connecting with our Mother Earth, and yet you were able to pull all of that and bring it in just in that moment of the silence, stillness and tranquility. So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. This is something, if you work every day, if you do this every day, it's not very complicated to just feel the space and the people and the audience that will watch the movie or the video later on.
Andreas, how have you managed to put this on personal devices that we can use? You want to walk us a little through that?
It took a while. In the beginning, it was working on stage. And I came from one-to-one sessions to work on stage, especially in the United States. When I traveled, I've been living in my car for 5 years, traveling and working with the Unity churches, Santos Hospital Living, Unitarian churches, and other places where there was a spiritual awareness. And I said from the very beginning, why am I only working with one person when we can work with a collective consciousness, with a collective body? And this was the beginning of the whole thing. In 2009, we wanted to start with the videos, but the technical part was not so good. We were not able to really make good videos for YouTube or so. And I felt at 2016, we were ready to actually give it a try. And we started with a peer group to actually did our course, which we call Back to the Origin, to come into a place where you are originally free of emotion, of stress, of physical problems, trauma. And we actually succeeded. We worked with 250 people online, as in the beginning live, and later on we did go into deeper recordings. Me in a trance state, being connected with the group. It needed a while to build up the field of consciousness of Back to the Origin, I can say.
This is one of the biggest things that I deal with talking to people who are doing what you're doing, and the opinions are, can you take something which many believe has to be live because of what you're doing and translate it to a recording and still have it work?
Yeah, but you need to see. We have the principle of the 100 monkeys, when we can say it this way. The more people use the videos, the easier it becomes for the next person that is interested, who actually step into this consciousness that is helping them to recover, to let go of emotion, to let themselves sink into this awareness, into this beautiful vibration of self-love again. Because that's what we are doing. I'm helping people to love themselves again, and to actually, I miss out the word, if you were fractured, to bring yourself together, to assemble yourself, might be the right word.
What are some of the more extraordinary transformations that you have seen people experience when they've participated in some sound healing?
We need to realize that if we talk about emotion, we are talking about vibration, and this kind of each emotion has a different vibration. But each organ of our body also has a different vibration, and if they correlate with each other, we experience that sadness, for example, goes into the kidneys. Fear goes into the lungs. If you carry lots of burden, you carry them on your shoulders. If you carry the burden for others, if you carry your own, they go onto the hip. The gallbladder and the liver is correlated to anger, to rage, and very negative emotions. So the moment we start to vibrate with the sound, I start to vibrate out this kind of vibration so that the organs get free again, you experience a release of stress on the body. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not allowed to say more. So, but we experience very, very deep healing on a spiritual level, on an energetic level, and of course, then on a physical level too. That's one thing. But the most important thing for me, if it comes to my work, is not that we heal on the body. It is more that we heal our souls. The most important thing for me is that we help people, our participants, to love themselves and bring out their potential. They grow so tremendously and become the more conscious being, and the ones who bring in their potential into life and start to bring this into society. And that's the most important for me, because there's so many people sitting at home not knowing what they can do, how beautiful they are, and how creative they are. That's the most important to me.
I think what you said about dissolving those emotions that have stress in the body, what's beautiful to me about the sound work is that we can have them in our subconscious and not even be aware that we are carrying those emotions. So do you tune in, because you said you could see energy, do you tune into the field to see what's the most appropriate sound to give in the moment that you're giving it?
I don't control anything. It just happens, You just let go. There is no plan for anything. If you do a session, you sit there, and then, for example, a lot of people ask me, is this a language you're talking? No, it is a soul language where you embody a condition. And the condition is every moment differently. So when I'm, for example, embody the sentence, "Oh, how beautiful the sun is shining this morning," and let's start the day. And feel the vibration. There is more to it than just the words. We try to intellectualize everything. That's what people do. We are so mind made up. But the moment we cannot intellectualize, the moment we only feel vibration, we suddenly come home, because this is what we are. We are true light. We are conscious beings and if we look from a quantum physics point of view, there is only vibration. And this is what we start to feel again. We know about our physical body and our physical situations and how strong or how weak we are. But the moment we go into vibration, everything shifts within splits of seconds. And this is the beauty. If we work with sound, it's just coming through. And I don't control this. This is what was coming from the very beginning. I never controlled what I did. I just made sure it is made with love. That's the most important thing for me. And the moment I start to control a sound, or I want to repeat something that I did earlier, I'm getting it. It costs me tremendous energy to actually control this voice instead of just letting it go and run. And yeah, that's the easier way. And I don't want to get tired in the evening or after hard work.
Oh, I call that channeling, Andreas.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's what you do, and it's a form of language to me. It's spirit language. It's soul language, and it speaks right to us. I love this. I love what you're doing. How can emotions truly be unseen causes of life troubles? People ask that question a lot.
I'm 55 now. If I had a certain moment that traumatized me emotionally in the age of 5, and I don't put this emotion out of my body, it's not only in the body, it's in the etheric field. It conflicts a chakra or an energy part of my energy body, and it conflicts my body, and it conflicts the way I behave. Because if I get confronted with a similar situation that I experienced in the age of 5, and I did not release this experience out of my structure and this emotion out of my structure, out of my being, it will cause me to react in a certain way. And then I'm actually reactive to life. I don't want to be reactive to life. I want to be the one who's observant and be able to decide what I do in every moment. I don't say I want to be good or bad. I just want to be. And with this state of being, this calm state of relaxation and observation, and the art of Wu Wei, the art of non-doing, it means not reacting, just looking, observing, and then with full intent going into action that feels right at the moment, and not because of an emotion that I stored for many years. And this is what people don't realize, that part of their life is totally steered by emotion. They are under remote control because they're holding on some grudges. They experience some sadness, or they're ashamed of certain things. And shame is one of the most emotions people don't recognize in a real way. And it actually blocks almost everything in life. So we work a lot with that, for example.
I think by its very nature as well, that shame is something you feel ashamed to share.
Yeah, and we also, you've been doing this for years. Why in your opinion, why is humanity so ashamed?
If you look at the world, and we look at life, what people do, and we repeat the same mistakes over and over again. We repeat it again and again, and we know it. And the people are not reacting. I mean, we have so much trouble right now on this planet. There's so much going on. But it's just a repetition of something we did 50 years, 100 years, 150 years, 200 years, 250 years, blah, 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 blah. Again and again and again. But there is a certain kind of powerlessness within the public, because the people think I'm not worthy. I don't have anything to tell. I have nothing to say. I need to follow the rules somebody gave me. I'm small. And that's the biggest problem. Nobody is small. We are all tremendous, powerful beings. And if we would say no to what is happening right now, we could help each other. Because that's, for everyone on this planet, is enough. Everybody could could live and feel abundance every day.
I'd love everybody listening right now. I just want to say, listen, 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 listen. I don't know how many guests we've had on this program. This very knowledgeable man, he's telling you what we have been telling you for a long time. You are worthy to be here. And this is one of our biggest things we say. One of the interesting things that you are saying that we teach, one of the definitions of mastery doesn't react, it observes. And you just said that. And then after that, it uses compassionate action. And you just said that. I think there are some beautiful, intuitive, spiritual rules of self-worth that we are missing. And you're one of the ones giving it to us.
Yeah. Do you find that there's layers that we have to work through? For myself, I find there are situations where I still react instead of respond. Mm-hmm. And I've been doing this work for quite some time, and I get disappointed in myself. And then when I hear you do that sound, it just dissolves everything away. But what advice do you have for those moments where we will come across another time where we react instead of respond? What advice do you have?
It is okay, Monica. Look, I mean, I'm on this journey since so many years. And every day I'm getting confronted. And it happens to me too, that I do mistakes. Right now we're in the move, for example, and you need to think about everything. You forget about something. Yesterday I should have been gone to the doctor, and I forgot about the appointment. I mean, it was written in my diary, but I said, no, it was scheduled fully in, but I forgot about it. There's so much in my mind. And I thought, oh, how could you? I said, you know what? It's okay. Be okay with yourself. Life is good, and you are okay. And the thing is, there is something behind it if it does not happen. And I thought I was searching for a new doctor, and I did not feel that well with the appointment. And you know what? It says to me, there will be a better doctor for me who will help me. Because something brought me into a rejection of that appointment, even if I did not say, if I did not do it purposely, that I did not go there, but something rejected it. So I'm okay. And if I do mistakes in the beginning, I might even, oh, whoa, Andreas, what are you doing here? But then a moment later, I get into the awareness and say, come on, it's okay. Breathe, come down, relax, ground yourself, be present. Because in presence is energy. Everywhere else, there's no energy. So the awareness, the self-control, and the self-observation, the more you work with these things, the better it gets. And we're beautiful beings. I mean, and the moment we realize we have not always been nice. How
does he know that?
We have beautiful aspects and we have very cruel aspects.
But I love those two words.
That's great.
It's okay.
It's okay.
That is magic.
It really is okay.
Yeah.
We are close to ending. Do you what message would you have for those listening?
To complete yourself, you need to realize that you have everything inside of you. You have so much beauty and love inside of you, but you also have hatred and anger in you. To actually complete yourself, you need to say, yes, everything in my life is existent. Everything of this is part of me, but I can choose what I want to live. I can become the more aware person. So I will give you 3 little questions you can ask yourself to actually live more, experience more self-love and practice self-love. The first question is, where am I right now and what I'm doing is a double question. If you hear this question in your mind, ask yourself, what are you doing? I'm sitting right now on this chair in my studio, and I feel my butt sitting on the chair, my feet on the floor, and right now my hand on this beautiful piece of me. And I can feel myself, bring myself back into awareness, into presence, with awareness of my body. The next question would be, how does it feel to be here? It feels good. I love to be with you. It's something very special. I feel honored. So then the third question does not come up, because if I don't like it, I would not have made the appointment. Because if you ask yourself, if you don't like it, what do I need right now to feel well? What do I need right now to be okay? Because that's practiced self-love. And if we would all do this and accept that the other one is allowed to do that too, everyone, we would have so much more peace and relaxation on this planet.
And what's the third question? When you get through the first 2?
When you get to the first 2 is, again, if you say, everything's okay, yay, then go ahead with that. If not, what do I need right now to be happy?
See, he didn't ask the third question because he's happy.
I know, but my
I understand.
organizing brain wants to complete the third
it's
thing.
If I'm not happy, why?
Why?
What is it?
What do I need to be complete?
Need to do?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Really, really well expressed. So if you are interested in Andreas's work, you can find out more on his website, andreasgoldman.com. You'll see it in the chat. And if you're watching this as a replay, just scroll down below the video and you'll be able to click onto his website. And again, you can have a whole experience of all of Andre's online courses that are developed specifically for any needs. Any last final words, Andreas?
I would love to actually let go of criticism to yourself and be more open and acceptance to other people's ideas of life and what they are made out of and everything. Because in the future, we need to communicate on a deeper level. And there are so many beautiful people here on this planet, but sometimes we don't see it because we have made our mind up of a person. Go into deeper conversation, communication, get closer, and get to know each other in a real way. That would be lovely.
Thank you so much
Thank you, my friend.
for joining us this evening.
Right.
Right now, we are going to take a 10-minute break, and then we'll see you back here for the Circle of 12. Well, welcome back from the break, everyone. Wasn't Andreas delightful?
You know, we say that to so many guests, and
Well, but
it's true yet again.
His sound vibrations, the kind of tones, the light language words he used.
Did you love that when he gave us a little bit?
Yes, I loved it. It's still
more.
With me, actually.
Yeah, I wanted
that kind
more.
of stillness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I love that he says it dissolves things, and that's where miracles take place, isn't it?
Yep. And I love the fact also he was live from Germany.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. When we can zoom in these guests from other countries and get a good clear picture and hear them well,
yeah,
I get excited. Well, what we'd like to do now is move into a part of the program that we call Miracle Moments. It's about celebrating the miracles of others, and it's about connecting and sending love and compassion to those who are asking for a miracle. Well, as awakened old souls, this is something we can do. We really can. Earlier, we mentioned that consciousness is energy, and our prayers for others are powerful. Group prayer works. It does. We're about ready to do it, all of us. If you'd like to participate, I'd like to ask Monica to share some actual miracle moments that we've had come in and that have happened to our Circle of 12 members.
So the first miracle moment happened to Charlotte, and Charlotte says, the morning after Healing Wednesday, that was aired on January 18, I woke up from the absolute best night sleep I have had in many years. Charlotte goes on to say that she felt refreshed and happy. Why is that important? Well, it is so important because she continues to say that I have been depressed for over 5 years with suicidal impulses. So for me, this is miraculous, and I absolutely agree, Charlotte. That is just such music to my ears of being able to sleep so deeply and wake up happy. I'm celebrating your success. And I want to share one more miracle moment that happened because it's so extraordinary. And it happened to David. This is what David says. I was told by 3 doctors in 2021 that I had 4 incurable infections in my right foot. And this was the result of a surgery that did not go as planned and because of my diabetes. I was told I had to have half of my right leg amputated. Having experienced 19 years of hospitalizations and various minor amputations as well as a near-death experience, I chose to end my medical care at the end of September 2021. I chose to just let the 4 infections run their course and to die. I was not going to live my life with an amputated leg. I had had enough. Well, I had nothing to lose since I was choosing to die, but I remembered all the teachings of Kryon on how to talk with my innate and take control of my body with focused consciousness. This time, I truly believed that I could heal myself. It was a simple process. I imagined myself standing on a stage in a theatre, talking to an audience comprised of each and every cell in my body, as Kryon suggested. I simply focused my thoughts inward and directed my innate and my stem cells to begin to repair my foot and destroy the invading bacterial infections. And guess what? It worked. By January 2022, my foot was getting better and the outward discoloration and wound was significantly diminished. I still have my leg, nor have I been hospitalized since early 2021. Now that is a miracle. Trust me on that. Absolutely, David. Thank you for sharing that incredible, amazing miracle. So we want to be in that energy. The energy of everything is possible. And with that energy of everything is possible, let's connect together as a soul family, create a coherence with each other right now in this moment. And as we just slow our breathing, close our eyes, allow everything else to melt away except for this moment where we can be in the energy of positive expectation and send that in a focused, targeted consciousness group intention to every single person who is requesting our prayers as our Healing Wednesday community. There are those who are asking for our support, our love, our help. And let us send positive expectation of benevolence, of what is possible when we can receive the energy of love, compassion, benevolence. And so let's just continue wave after wave after wave of sending love, another wave, compassion, another wave, benevolence, another wave, kindness, another wave, infinite, unconditional love. And as we continue to send wave after wave of these loving energies, know that you too are included. It is an infinity loop where we send out love and it gets received back into us, and then we can amplify it and send it again. And as we continue the sending and receiving of the most powerful energy in the universe, love, let us now move towards Kryon and the circle of 12.
Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon. Come a little closer. That's a metaphor. I've explained it before. It has to do mainly with how you feel about yourself. Is it possible to get a little closer to who you are? Is it possible to get so close to yourself that you might actually start to understand what it means when we say, learn to love yourself? That's not a statement of ego. It means that as you see yourself on the planet, you can love the fact that you're here. You can love the fact that everything in your life has the potential and opportunity to be there for a very long time. Can you love the cells of your body? If you do that, would that be egotistical? To love your biology for all that it is to you? There is so much here, dear ones, to know. It's a change of paradigm. And we have spoken about this now for years, but mainly in these last 2 years. And we've talked about it regarding the circle of 12, because for the first time in this energy, you as light workers, as old souls, can do something exceptional. You can cross this metaphoric bridge, moving from the known to the unknown, and actually become closer to that which is you. In 3 dimensions, if I ask almost any human being, tell me about yourself, I would not get the answer that I would get from those perhaps who can consider them light workers themselves, light workers or old souls, and they would say, well, let me tell you about everything that I am. And they would go into the things that are in their past lives that mold them and shape them, the things that they've been through, the compassion, the kindness, and the love that they have experienced that shaped who they became and as they learned how to do it. And if you were standing next to someone just in 3D who had never heard of these things, they would think, who are you again? Where did you come from? It's another paradigm, isn't it? It is completely different than everything you've been told. We're going to meet an angel, aren't we? Dear ones, I would like to lead you in a guided meditation across the bridge in just a moment to meet the most extraordinary being, thing, energy, entity. When you have a multi-dimensional life form in front of you, you cannot identify it. It has no biological agenda. It's not biological. It has no place where you've learned that angels come from. Unless, of course, you have a doctrine that tells you all about the building they live in and how they retire at night and get up in the morning and what they eat. That doesn't exist, not in a reality. Because a true angelic form is ageless, timeless, as old as the Creator. But if you want to take a look at what defines an angel, let's talk about the only time you've seen them in history. In all of that history of the planet, of any scripture, of any doctrine, almost everywhere that is sacred and talks about angels, they're here to help you. Movies aside, dear ones, novels aside, to somehow make an impact making angels evil, that's not what's in Scripture. The beautiful, angelic part of that which visits you, that you call the angel, is never here to tell you how bad you are. Never here to tell you to straighten up. Always wants to tell you not to fear. Always wants to hold your hand or embrace you. Always wants to give you good news. What if that is the role of what you call angels? Angels have appeared to humans on this planet for a very, very long time, and they continue to. And it's how they are manifested in your brain that's always interesting. When a human being actually observes a multi-dimensional energy or form, and you are in 3 dimensions, you have to try to 3-dimensionalize it. It has to fit in to a paradigm you live in for you to be comfortable. Because nothing that you have ever seen, ever, in your life would be a multidimensional package sitting in front of you. And so somehow it becomes angelic. An entity with wings, beauty, shining, halo perhaps or not. And that is how you do it. Well, this won't be the way it is tonight. I want you to take my hand and let's go across this bridge one more time to meet the first of 4 angels this month. Take my hand. Let's go. Crossing this bridge is more than just a metaphor. It's a reality, if you wish it to be. More than a guided meditation, It is you stepping into the unknown, a multidimensional space, which is really you. You are more multidimensional than 3D. It's just right now, while you walk the planet, you're a little linear. But when you're not here, you're angelic. Did anyone tell you that? Crossing the bridge, come to the middle, we go through the mist that somehow would obfuscate or hide that which is on the other side. And that is on the other side is anything you want it to be. It's multidimensional. You tell me what your soul looks like. Is it part of the cosmos? Is it a house? This is you deciding how big you are, and it's always been that way. Always. Tonight, you'll go through yet another doorway. We're going to call it a portal. And by doing so, you are giving permission for what is going to happen to you. In this particular case, you're expecting to meet an angel. In this particular session, I told you earlier, this angel has a message for you. How would you do this if you had to paint this scenario in a novel of some kind? And now I want to tell you this. However you picture it, it can happen that way. Because this does not happen in your world. This does not happen in 3D. But we're going to paint a picture, if you wish, to follow along. You're going to go to a room and you have no idea how big it is or how small it is. You cannot see past perhaps 20 or 30 feet away. There's no light. So it could be simply vastness, blackness. You don't know even if there are walls. And the chair is in the middle of this light. This is not a stage. You might say, well, it's a chair on a floor. For some of you, it's not even a floor. You can make it whatever you choose. The idea is this: sit down. You better sit down. Because when this begins, dear ones, you would not be able to remain standing. If you can come with me for just a moment into a situation that drips with splendor, that you cannot hardly imagine, you'd be scratching the surface of what this truly would be like. As you sit there waiting, you are inviting angelic energy to visit you now. And the first question you may ask is, who? Who is it who visits me? I'm going to tell you the truth. There is no who on this side of the veil, dear ones. There is no what on this side of the veil. There is no singular name or energy which is coming to you. Instead, it's going to be pure divinity. Unnameable. It'll be made of so many who speak as one, who you would see as an angel. This is why when angels come to the planet, they cannot be identified. Not really. Because they're not singular. And here you are sitting in the chair. And here is this energy that starts to come to you. Dear ones, I would like to tell you, the air is thick with divine purpose. And your name is all over it. This is the angel to help you catch the ball when it's thrown to you from those who love you, who want to pray for you. Because what this angel is going to do is talk to you, perhaps, or not. But everything this angel is going to show you is going to be miraculous. You won't believe it. You meet this angel, and it may greet you or it may not. It may just hug you and love you, and you'll simply know who it is. The who will be obvious to you at that moment. Pure love, safe, home. You've had this happen before, only it's never been this majestic, ever. And that angel will say to you, I love you. Come with me. And that angel may then take you, not physically, you're sitting in the chair, but metaphysically. As you imbue yourself into the angel's energy, it may take you on a journey back in time. And you will be with that angel and they'll say, watch this, watch this. And you realize you'll be watching the earth being formed, the moon being formed, the water coming and going and coming and going, millions of years, until the birth of the enlightened human. And you will say, how could this be? How could I see this? How could I be this privileged to be able to see something like this? And you will hear the voice, or perhaps feel the hug of the angel as it smiles at you and whispers in your ear. You see it because you were there. You see it because you remember it. Snapping back to the chair, the angel will say to you, know this. Dear Divine One, know this. You deserve to be here. You are a piece of creation itself, and no one has told you that. And so when those throw the ball of kindness to you, of compassion, of healing, you deserve to catch the ball. That's all you have to know. You're here on purpose, perhaps to catch the ball. You're here because you're worthy of being here. According to plan, it's all purposeful, accurate, designed. I want you to stay in this place, dear ones, with this energy, this overwhelming energy, and just bask in it. It's dripping in splendor for you. It's you in some ways. And this angel just wanted to show you one thing. You can catch the ball because you're worthy to. There is no more worthy one than you. That is the message of the first angel. Don't let anyone tell you that you are not made of divinity. Don't let anyone tell you that you're less than that which is any angelic form on the planet. And if you think that's just too majestic, you can keep it to yourself and just walk around in majesty. Come a little closer to who you are. Stay. I'm crying in love with humanity. And so it is.